You have arrived in the very center of tequila country. In this region, farmers gather the giant blue agave while basking in the tropical sun of Mexico. Abrasive, astringent, and brimming with a secret sweetness. With the help of sharp instruments and a high level of expertise, they remove the leaves in order to expose the valuable piña. However, this is only the beginning. This plant is transformed into the tequila that we are familiar with, and like through a series of processes that include cooking, fermentation, and distillation. The production of tequila is a lengthy process that typically takes between 7 and 9 years. In order to begin, the Tequilana Weber Blue Agave, which is the primary component, is planted. In order for the agave to be considered authentic tequila, it must be farmed in particular regions of Mexico and must be certified by the Tequila Regulatory Council. Drones provide assistance to farmers starting the process of cultivating agave by spraying herbicides to control weeds at the beginning of the process. In addition, they apply insecticides and fertilizer to the plants in order to maintain their health. Farmers are able to increase their income with the use of drones, which also serve to safeguard the environment. For each work, they consume less water, which contributes to the conservation of resources. When the blue agave plant has reached its full maturity, the harvesting procedure, which is known as jima, goes into motion. To remove the stiff leaves and sharp spikes that are located surrounding the plant, the workers, who are referred to as jimadores, make use of a specialized instrument known as a hoe, which is a knife with a sharp, round blade. It is of utmost importance to remove the leaves, as the piña, which is the core of the plant, is the sole source of sugars that are required for the production of tequila. Considering that a fully developed blue agave can weigh anywhere from 40 to 100 kilos, this technique needs a high level of expertise, as well as physical strength. Although there are 136 different kinds of agave in Mexico, only blue agave is utilized to manufacture tequila, which is often considered to be a high-quality and risk-free alternative. Immediately after the piñas are extracted from the plant, they are gathered and delivered to the factory for further processing. The next step is hydrolysis, which involves cooking the agave in order to convert the inulin, which is the primary carbohydrate found in agave, into sugars that may be fermented. The workers use a long knife to chop the huge agave in half before beginning the cooking process. This makes the agaves easier to handle and ensures that they cook evenly. During the cooking process, the agave is gradually softened by hot steam at temperatures ranging from 100 to 110 degrees Celsius. This procedure takes performed in conventional brick ovens or autoclaves, which are enormous steam chambers. In addition to breaking down inulin, this also contributes to the formation of aromatic molecules, which are responsible for the distinctive flavor of tequila. Following the heating process, the piñas are allowed to chill for around 8 hours. Once the piñas have been meticulously prepared, they contain a treasure of sugars that have been caramelized and are sweet. These sugars will soon be turned into tequila because of their transformation. First things first, however, these sugars have to be extracted from the fibrous core. This extraction procedure is dominated by gear roller mills in current tequila distilleries. Gear roller mills are a series of powerful machines that take the agave that has been softened and crush it. Upon being fed into the rollers, the piñas undergo a process of being pressed and ground until their fibers are completely removed and dried up. Crushed agave is frequently sprinkled with water in order to assist in washing away any sugars that may still be present. On the other hand, the tahona is an ancient method that is still utilized in some distilleries, which continue to celebrate their past. The agave is rolled over by a giant volcanic stone wheel, which can weigh up to 2 tons at times. This wheel grinds the agave into a pulp and extracts its juices by slowly rolling over it. At this point in the production of tequila, the sweet golden liquid, which is referred to as mosto, has reached a crucial stage. It is either gathered under the grinding stones or flowing from the roller mills. The sweet golden juice that is taken from the cooked agave is then carefully collected and transported into big fermentation tanks. After it has been extracted successfully, yeast is added to the liquid, which marks the beginning of an exceptionally intriguing natural process. In the process of digesting the sugars, the yeast generates alcohol and carbon dioxide, which results in the formation of bubbles that rise to the surface and dance around. This is the point at which tequila begins to develop the flavors and smells that are characteristic of its brand. Following the completion of the fermentation process, the liquid is subjected to distillation, which is a purifying procedure that concentrates the alcohol and eliminates any compounds that are not desired. Copper or stainless steel stills are used for the conventional distillation process of tequila. Twice. Once the desired type has been selected, the tequila may next proceed to the maturation process, during which it is aged in oak barrels in order to develop its personality. The tequila collects compounds from the wood as it ages, and these compounds have an effect on the color, aroma, and flavor of the brandy. Containers that are clean and sanitary are used to package the finished product. The process of tequila making is not only a matter of production, but also a cultural identity deeply tied to Mexican tradition. From my perspective, what strikes me most is the balance between heritage and innovation. On one hand, there are centuries-old practices such as the jima and the use of the tahona, which embody the artistry, patience, and physical dedication of human labor. On the other hand, modern tools, like drones and roller mills, demonstrate how technology can increase efficiency, reduce environmental costs, and make production more sustainable. This coexistence of old and new makes tequila a symbol of cultural resilience and adaptation in a rapidly modernizing world. However, while I admire the sophistication of the process, I also believe it raises important questions about sustainability and responsibility. The 7 to 9 years required for blue agave to mature already highlight the fragile balance of supply and demand. Overharvesting or industrial shortcuts could endanger not only the authenticity of tequila, but also the health of Mexico's agave ecosystems. The use of drones and chemicals may help protect yields, but in the long term, careful management of soil fertility, biodiversity, and pesticide dependency is essential. Otherwise, the same tools meant to safeguard the plants could undermine the very environment that sustains them. In my view, the future of tequila production should prioritize sustainable farming and respect for cultural tradition. Solutions may include diversifying agricultural practices to avoid monoculture risks, encouraging organic and low-chemical methods where possible, and supporting jimadores so that their skill is preserved for future generations. Producers should also be transparent about their methods, allowing consumers to choose tequilas that reflect ethical practices. After all, tequila is not just a drink. It is the result of years of labor, land stewardship, and cultural heritage. Appreciating it means acknowledging not only its flavor, but also the intricate human and environmental story behind every bottle.